And now, here is your high RPM American English story called The Farmer's Lantern. In the rolling fields of Lawrence, Kansas, where the sunrise painted the plains in hues of gold and amber, Ben Harper, 62, rose before dawn each day to tend to his family farm. The land had been in his family for 3 generations, passed down by his father, who taught him, "Son, the land will feed you if you respect it, even in the hard years." The past year had tested Ben's faith as the drought turned his fields dry, the bank notices piled up on the kitchen counter, and the empty chair across from him at dinner reminded him painfully of Martha, his wife of 40 years who had passed away quietly in her sleep the previous winter. Every evening, Ben lit the old kerosene lantern Martha had loved, hanging it on the porch overlooking the fields. She used to tell him, "Keep the light burning, Ben. You never know who might need to see it." At first, he lit it out of habit, sitting in his rocking chair, the night wind rustling the dry corn stalks, while he sipped his coffee. The soft glow of the lantern, the only warmth in the darkness. Neighbors would see the glow from the road, wondering why old Ben still kept the lantern burning, not knowing that each night, Ben whispered a prayer to Martha, asking for strength, for rain, and for the courage to keep moving forward when the loneliness felt too heavy to carry alone. Across the gravel road lived Tyler, 28, a young farmer struggling to keep his father's small acreage alive after his dad's passing. Tyler spent his days fixing rusty equipment, hauling water for the few cattle they had left, and arguing with himself about whether he should sell the land and move to the city, where the burden of trying to keep the farm alive wouldn't haunt him every sunrise. Each evening, Tyler would step onto his porch, exhausted, looking across the dark fields where the only light came from Ben's lantern, flickering like a star against the endless Kansas night. One evening, unable to sleep, Tyler walked across the road, the gravel crunching under his boots as he approached Ben's porch. "Mind if I sit for a bit?" Tyler asked softly, and Ben nodded, gesturing to the empty chair beside him. They sat in silence for a while, the lantern's glow illuminating Ben's lined face, and Tyler's tired eyes, the distant calls of nightbirds filling the air. Finally, Tyler spoke. "I see your light every night. It helps me feel less alone, you know?" Ben nodded, replying, "That's why I keep it burning." Martha always believed a light could guide someone home, even if they don't know they're looking for one. The 2 men sat under the stars, sharing stories about crops, drought, and the stubborn hope it took to plant seeds even when rain hadn't come for weeks. The lantern between them a small beacon of connection and faith. As the weeks passed, Tyler began stopping by each evening after finishing his chores, bringing over 2 cups of coffee, sitting with Ben as the lantern burned between them. They spoke of Martha, of Ben's memories of her laughter in the kitchen and the way she sang while hanging laundry. And Tyler shared stories of his father teaching him how to mend fences and fix engines with wire and faith. Slowly, other neighbors began noticing the 2 men on the porch, the lantern burning bright, and curiosity turned into quiet visits. Lisa, a single mother who ran the small feed store, began stopping by with her son, dropping off extra eggs from her hens and staying for a cup of coffee while her boy played with Ben's old farm dog under the lantern's glow. Mr. Kim, who owned the nearby orchard, joined them one evening, sharing stories of the challenges he faced as an immigrant farmer trying to keep his family's dreams alive. The porch became a gathering place, the lantern's light drawing the tired and the lonely, turning into a quiet community where burdens were shared, prayers were whispered, and laughter slowly returned to tired hearts. Ben found himself looking forward to each evening, the loneliness easing as the community built around the glow of a simple lantern. Martha's words echoing in his heart, "Keep the light burning, Ben." One evening, the sky rumbled, dark clouds rolling in as a thunderstorm approached. The friends on the porch looked up at the lightning, then back at the lantern, a comfortable silence settling among them. Suddenly, a loud clap of thunder made them jump. Tyler quickly said, "I should get home before the storm hits." Ben nodded, understanding the fear in Tyler's eyes. In that moment, Ben knew the lantern had become more than just a light for him. It was a symbol of strength, unity, and most importantly, hope. he realized that Martha's light wasn't just about guiding someone home, it was about guiding them through the darkness. Just then, a shaft of lightning illuminated the faces on the porch, their smiles lighting up the darkness as much as the lantern did. In that moment, Ben felt a surge of gratitude for each person who stepped onto his porch, sharing their stories and their lives under the warm glow of the lantern. He understood that the true meaning of Martha's light wasn't just in the brightness. It was in the connections forged, the bonds strengthened, and the hearts healed. Spring finally brought rain to Lawrence, the earth drinking in the long-awaited water, bringing a soft green to the once dry fields. The lantern still burned each night, but now it was surrounded by laughter, the scrape of chairs as neighbors gathered, and the soft sounds of hope returning to a community that had almost forgotten how to hope. Tyler, now braver, decided not to sell the farm, telling Ben, "If you can keep planting, I can too." Together, they repaired fences, shared tools, and swapped seeds, building a network of support that turned isolated struggles into shared victories. On the anniversary of Martha's passing, the neighbors surprised Ben by decorating the porch with strings of lights, placing potted flowers around the rocking chairs, and gathering under the lantern's glow to share stories of how Martha's light and Ben's faithfulness had helped them through the hardest days. As the sun set and the lantern was lit, once more, Ben stood quietly, looking at the faces illuminated by its glow, tears in his eyes as he whispered, "Thank you, Martha." That night, the lantern burned brighter than ever, a reminder that sometimes the simplest acts, lighting a lantern, keeping a promise, showing up every day, can transform lives, heal wounds, and remind a community that hope is never truly gone, as long as someone is willing to keep the light burning for others. The end. And now, here are 4 short quotes from today's story. Quote number 1, "The land will feed you if you respect it, even in the hard years." This quote is spoken by Ben Harper's father, emphasizing the importance of respecting nature and understanding that hard times are a part of life, especially for farmers who depend on the unpredictable weather and market forces. Quote, "No. 2. A light could guide someone home, even if they don't know they're looking for one." This quote is spoken by Ben Harper, reflecting on the power of hope and the unexpected ways in which it can touch people's lives. It suggests that sometimes all it takes is a small gesture of kindness or a symbol of support to help someone find their way. Quote, "No." 3. Sometimes the hardest part is not the drought or the loneliness, but the feeling that no one understands what you're going through. This quote is not spoken by any character in the story, but it captures the essence of Tyler's struggle as a young farmer trying to keep his family's legacy alive. It speaks to the emotional toll that comes with carrying on a tradition and the fear of failure in the face of overwhelming challenges. Quote number 4, "The true meaning of Martha's light wasn't just in the brightness, it was in the connections forged, the bonds strengthened, and the hearts healed." This quote is spoken by the narrator, offering a reflection on the power of community and shared experience. It suggests that the most meaningful connections often come from going through tough times together, and that these connections have the power to heal and strengthen us in ways that nothing else can.